All right, great. Terrific. Okay, well, this is what it looks like when we have plant form in person, and especially that particular one with all those salvias was really fragrant. But let's get right into the plants that are here. First entry is from Eric and Ann Brooks, who have what you could call a wildlife sanctuary in Baldwin Hills. I love all the flowering vines that they bring into the plant farm. I saw a little Spanish saying the other day that said, if you love the sound of bird songs, don't build an aviary, plant some trees. And I think that Eric and Ann would say, but don't forget flowering vines. Almost every time we have a meeting, Eric and Ann bring in an interesting flowering vine. And this one's definitely interesting, Tecomanthe dendrophila, the New Guinea trumpet vine. It's woody, and it blooms on old wood. So it has to get growing for a while before you see flowers. And then wherever the flowers show up coming out of the hard bark, that's where they're going to show up every year thereafter. Definitely likes water, but though we want to conserve water, if a plant is performing for us and helping wildlife and cleaning up after human beings, well then it's welcome to a little extra water. Fuller part sun, and oh, the individual flowers are really beautiful. Let's go on to the next one. Thanks, Eric and Ann, for bringing those in. All right. Whew, what a name. Euphorbia Antisyphilitica. Gee, thanks for the explanation, Sandy, about the name. I much prefer the common name, Candelilla. Candelilla. It's got a waxy coating. It's from Baja, and they do make candles out of the wax. Of course, it's drought tolerant, likes good drainage. It's one of the euphorbias, so it's got the milky sap that can irritate you. I see more of Euphorbia xanthi, which is another stick-like euphorbia. And those of you who know Sandy, you know that she likes plants that look like sticks. I think it's maybe a goth thing. I'm not sure. But in any case, Antisyphilitica, well, apparently it is used for treating syphilis. Of course, Sandy is a writer, so I kind of thought she would be showing us the plant that helps writers prevent bad endings, Euphorbia anticlimatica. Ha ha. Isn't this great? Zoom shows me right here. Groans are muted. All right, moving on. Lynn Hoopengarner, a longtime member. 2 plants in one picture. Ismene, narcissiflora. This is the Peruvian daffodil. And really, to me, part of a coming trend in horticulture here in Southern California. You know, we no matter what, every year we get a good spring show. But by about July and August, the show starts to end. And that's when we have this whole series of drought-tolerant Mediterranean bulbs that come into bloom because they want less competition for pollinators, and they want to set seed and go into fall and then drop the seed and have it sprout with the theoretical rains. After they bloom, very often they lose their foliage. Some of them, like Amaryllis or Dremia, don't have any foliage when they bloom. And that provides a really great benefit for places that have fire hazard, because there's no leaves to burn during the fire season. So Lynn says they reproduce readily. She's even interested in sharing. Lynn, hang on to those. When we have in-person meetings, maybe we can raffle some of those off. And thanks for bringing that in. Let's see. Let's move on to First one from Joan Citron. You know, there are wide-angle lenses, but it's pretty hard to see an entire Victoria-Regina agave in one shot. I think Joan made the right choice. What a spectacular sight. Most of you have seen the plant. Very few have seen the plant in bloom before it dies. But it's no surprise that a plant that most of us haven't seen in this condition is in Joan's garden, because her garden is full of treasures. And it's an agave. We think of agaves as drought-tolerant succulents, but they're mostly part or full shade plants in their native habitats. And in this case, she has it growing under our next plant. Look at those blooms. Erythrina crista-galli, the Cockspur coral tree, grown from seed. Joan says it's 35 years old now, so she must have planted that when she was a teenager. And look at those sprays of branches. She knows that it blooms on new wood. So if you are saving the old wood, as you would for that first flowering vine we saw, you wouldn't have much bloom. But pollarding a coral like this one is a great idea, and it shoots out these 6 to 8 foot branches covered with blooms from May until October. Pretty nice, and plenty of seeds, and Joan brings those to the meetings occasionally as well. Let's see, one more from Joan. Happy plant, Opuntia Turpinii, now identifying as a Tephrocactus. I don't know if that means it uses a different restroom now, but we'll leave that to the horticultural experts. It's a fragile little thing. You bump into it and pieces break off, and they're all shareable and not too spiny either. So thanks, Joan, for all those great ones that you shared. And that's all I have for this one, and looking forward to seeing many of you in an in-person plant forum coming to Friendship Auditorium soon. Thanks.
Thank you, John. I will